Hello, I'm Takumi.
And I'm Taylor, and we are part of the National Organization of Minority Architecture Students.
And welcome to Crafternoons. Today we'll talk to you about public art design.
We are here on Carnegie Mellon's campus where we study architecture and design.
So, what is public art and design? Well, you can see several examples of that here on the campus of CMU because just about anyone, regardless of whether or not they are students or teachers, can visit and see the art for themselves. So here's one example of an unsanctioned piece of public art called the fence. Periodically, students and faculty alike come and paint and repaint over this entire structure. So every other week it's completely different. But the point is, everyone can see it. For example, this time it's celebrating Black History. Now this is an example of a very tall piece of public art. Everyone, including students, faculty, all sort of staff workers, can see it straight from the street, and they can easily see the people ascending to the top. Now what do you think it means? This is another example of public art, and it looks completely different from the front, left, back, and even the side. Now, what would your piece of art look like from the front, back, left, or even from above? So this is another example of public art. How large do you think it is? It could be as big as a person, as big as a head, or as tiny as a leaf falling from the trees. Your choice.
For this project, you will use a sketchbook to sketch out your ideas, a base to put your model on top of, clay for modeling, and plaster strips for modeling, and paper to draw out any final ideas.
When we first start design, we start with sketching. You can start by sketching on a notebook or just a regular piece of paper.
So when starting off a mural, start off with a sketch like on a piece of paper or a sketchbook and illustrate some things that you'd want to include in that mural. What kind of feelings would you want to invoke? What kind of things would you want to add in? It could be animals, faces, people, buildings, anything you'd like to present in said mural. Here's an example of a mural inside of one of Carnegie Mellon's buildings. If you have an idea of where you want to put the mural, whether it's outside or indoors, include that in your sketches and drawings too.
And remember, don't worry if your sketches don't look perfect. They're meant to be part of a process. If your idea for public art is a sculpture, you can still start with sketching, and when you're ready, you can move to the materials in your kit.
Now that we have an idea, let's start building. You can start with your clay, use the base as something to place it on, and let's go. Now that I think we're done, we'll let this dry before we put on the plaster. Now that our clay is dry, we can move on to the next step. For that, you will need your ideas from your sketchbook, the plaster from your kit, and a small bowl of water to use with the plaster. To use the plaster strips, dip them in the water to get them a little bit damp, and smooth the plaster out over the cloth. This will let you have a smooth piece to add to your model. Once all the plaster is wet, you can apply that to the thing that you built out of clay and smooth it down. This will add structure to your object that you've designed and fix it to the base. Now that our plaster is dry, we can go ahead and decorate or add details.
Remember, no matter who you are, where you come from, or what you look like, you too can create public art. The only limitation is your imagination. Thanks for designing public art with us today.
And remember, to post your finished designs and tag Assemble.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks so much for joining us this week for Saturday Crafternoon. We would love to see what you've created. To do so, please share by posting on our Facebook page, tagging us on Instagram at AssemblePGH, or email me at my email, leah@assemblepgh.org. And if you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.